What on guys, Commander, and welcome to a new video on Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, we're doing another mod review today, and we've got 3 separate mods that I want to show you. Now, the first 2, excuse me, are going to be brand new mods that I found on Nexus Mods literally about half an hour before starting recording this video. The other one is an update to a mod that I did quite a while ago, but at the time I didn't have access to Nvidia Ansel, so I wanted to revisit it, see if it's been updated and see how much better it looks. So I think it has been updated. You'll see what it is when we get to it, but I want to see if it's been updated, how better it looks, and I also want to see what it looks like in-game using Ansel. So the mods we're going to be looking at today, the first one you probably see already because I got my mouse hovering over it, is a mod about Emperor Palpatine. And basically what it is they've got a mixture of they've got Count Dooku's like player pose, stance and animations, Palpatine's face, Kylo Ren's hood, and I think it's, if we go into inspect, I think it's Count Dooku's like torso and legs maybe, but they've basically got a load of things together and basically made a Palpatine with a lightsaber. Now, this idea of mod and this thing, like Palpatine with a lightsaber, is something I've always wanted since Battlefront 2015, and I really hope that when they brought Battlefront 2 out, that they would have Palpatine with at least an ability to use his lightsaber, because it's something, I know it's something we don't see in the original trilogy, but it's something that I wanted to see in Battlefront 2, in a game where I can actually play Palpatine as an actual like playable figure with a lightsaber, because chain lightning, although it is quite cool that he can shoot lightning out of his fingers, it's not very interesting. Like, if you watch the Clone Wars, there's an episode of the Clone Wars called The Lawless, and if you don't want any spoilers, just skip ahead to about 2 minutes and I'll if you want to go watch it yourself. But there's a part where you see Darth Sidious fighting off against Maul and Savage Opress with 2 lightsabers, and it's a massively action-packed game. Now, if they had even just one lightsaber, because in the prequel trilogy he only has one lightsaber that he fights with. He never fights with two lightsabers. But since I saw that episode, I thought, how good would it be if Palpatine was in a game with a lightsaber? How good would that have been? And I just think it looks so good. It looks so good because it's what we know. Like, that is how we know. Yeah, we know Palpatine as being that guy who's so powerful he can shoot lightning out of his fingers. But then you get into the Clone Wars and in the prequels where he's actually got a lightsaber that he can use. So why are they forgetting about that? You know. And that's why I like mods like this, where you can actually do it. Like, certain things like his lightsaber is a bit inaccurate, obviously, because it's using the wrong model. But it just looks, you know, the mod itself looks really good anyway. But I just love the fact that they can do things like this, you know, and make like a Palpatine as with a lightsaber. It's just so good. You know, I look at a lot of appearance mods, but every now and again I come across a mod where it actually changes the mechanics of things and they look really good. But anyway, so this is the first mod that we're looking at, and it's not much of an appearance mod, it's more just like changing game mechanics. But the second mod I want to look at is this one. Now, this one is Battle Damage Darth Vader mod. Now, I've seen this, again, this isn't new around the Nexus Mods website, this has been out for a while, like the 2 mods from last time, but there's 2 different versions of this. Now, the only difference being is that one is got a red face. In this one, his face is more red, but in the other one, his face is more grey to reflect Return of the Jedi style Vader. But the only reason why I chose this one is because, one, it looks better anyway, but also it sort of acts like the lightsaber's reflecting off of his face a bit. But looking at it, it looks so good. Like, I'm not even sure what model they used for his head, because they certainly didn't use the Anakin Skywalker head, or if they did, it looks better on Darth Vader than it does on Anakin. But it's the detail in it, you know, and it's not overly 100% detailed, but just like the scorch marks on his face, on his like cheeks going up to his ears, you know, the helmet itself isn't necessarily that detailed. You know, if we go down here, you know, it's meant to be a Helmetless Darth Vader, but if we go straight down here, his leg, you know, it's not battle damage in itself, because it's all still very much like Darth Vader as it is, but it's just the fact that it's helmetless, so you can see what's outside of inside of Darth Vader's helmet in a game. You know, and I know the reason why they won't make this into a skin for Battlefront 2, and it's because we've already got Anakin Skywalker, and then and if Vader's helmet was removed, it would have Anakin Skywalker's voice in it. So having two heroes running around the game with an Anakin Skywalker audio coming out of it is a bit weird. I completely understand that, but it looks so good. I wonder, are the emotes still? No, because the emotes are glitched. Okay, never mind. Yeah. So apparently emotes are glitched because I can't actually go to it. Yep. What about voice lines? Yep. Victory poses. Okay, you can still do victory poses. It's a bit bugged, I can't lie, but you know, and again, like the eyes are a bit weird. I can't lie, but it's still pretty cool. Just like to see a helmetless Darth Vader looking that threatening. Because personally, in my opinion, you know, I first saw helmetless Darth Vader back when The Force Unleashed came out, and that is just, it's so much more menacing than Darth Vader in himself, because he is, like, I'm not saying that Darth Vader isn't menacing, but the helmet sort of masks what's underneath him, and just like the fact that you've got what the mask underneath it looks more menacing. But anyway, so that's the two mods that we're going to look at. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into a game of arcade, and we're going to see what these models look like in Nvidia Ansel. So I'll be back in a second. Alright guys, so we're in a game of arcade, and again, I'm not using instant action because there isn't an Empire version for it. So we're just going to use instant action. Now, the models, again, the animations in that is Count Dooku, but we've got the Count Dooku parts that we've got is the chain lightning, which, no, not chain lightning, the lightning-like attack that Count Dooku has. We've got Maul's force choke, and we've also got the spin. Now, the spin looks a bit weird because it is using Darth Maul's like double-bladed spin, but it is actually for using like a single-bladed lightsaber. It's a bit weird, it's a little bit goofy, but again, I can't really expect anything like less because it's a mod, and things don't, with mods, especially a mod like this, things don't tend to work that 100% well. It just comes with the nature of what it is. So I'm not too particularly fussed with that. I mean, again, if EA and DICE made this, hopefully they would make something a little bit better, not make it look so goofy like this. But I mean, I know they won't. But this is the sort of what I hope. This is sort of what I expect. The quality of level, you know, it works so well, and it's not even made by the DICE developers. I know I've said this. I say this in every mod review, but it just amazes me how much better the community can do than the game devs themselves, and the game devs being paid to do it. You know, and again, nothing against like Respawn or DICE, or, you know, I would say EA, but I don't mean that. But you know, I know it's just because, you know, I don't like, nothing against them at all, but sometimes it's just not very good. You know, I've harped on so many times about the Anakin Skywalker model and how I dislike it to the extent where I actually refuse to use it sometimes because it looks ugly. But you know, sometimes they do a really good job, like on Darth Vader or Palpatine or what have you. It looks damn good, but it just, other times it just looks hideous. You know, and how the community can make something that much better than the actual game devs themselves, I think it just says a lot about the trust they were putting in these game devs in themselves. So anyway, what I'm going to do, let's just press the Nvidia Ansel button and go into Ansel, and we should be able to see Palpatine as itself. Oh, hang on, press the wrong button. There we go. That should work now. There we go. Right, so again, there isn't much to see in this like mod. It's a bit glitchy because of the mods. I think mods are conflicting, but you know, it just looks like that is what you would expect. Like, that's, if I just do that, and then I know his face is a bit weird, but I'll put Darth Sidious on the screen from the Clone Wars on the side here. It looks strangely accurate. The only thing that I would change is in the Clone Wars with and even somewhat in Revenge of the Sith. His uniform is a bit more redder than this, but because I think it's because of the nature of the assets they've got, they had to keep it black. But disregard the fact that the color's a little bit off. It looks quite accurate, actually. Like, I'm surprised at how accurate it looks. You know, just looking at it from an Ansel point of view. But anyway, so that is the Palpatine mod. What we're going to do is we're going to cut ahead in the video, and I'll come back with the Battle Damage Darth Vader mod, and we'll see how that looks. Alright guys, so we're back, and we've got the Darth Vader mod here, and it looks... somehow it looks... I mean, I say somehow, it's because I know why it is, because it does look better with the in-game, but it looks so good. Like, just to see Darth Vader, imagine this. So, I know Darth Vader's like an intimidating force anyway, but imagine this coming at you to face you. Just to, you see those menacing yellow eyes. You know, it's really realistic. I love it. I love this so much. You know, and I think this is... I don't think this is made... I think this is made using the mesh importing thing that the developers of the mod editor managed to like find between here now and like in recent times. I think I'm pretty sure, but I'm not entirely. I don't know. Anyway, so let's just get rid of these rebels quickly and just go into my Ansel settings, and we shall see what this looks like in game. Run out of stamina. Never mind. Right, and Ansel, thank you. It's a bit weird because like if there's any kind of smoke like this, it's not going to show up properly. Right, that looks good in and of itself, but let's just get rid of these rebels a minute. I sort of made the mistake of making it like a 10-0 on me for this game. I should have just put it like no AI at all, just like the occasional AI. So it would probably have worked a bit better, but anyway, let's go. Right, let's go here. It's a good light in here. Is that, or do I need to turn around? Yeah, I need to turn around. Hang on. So there's a lot of light on his face. There we go. Right. Even then, I don't know, very good. Anyway, but look at that. That looks... Imagine having that. And again, the reason why I like to see it in game is because of the emotes that these characters do have. It makes it look so much better than it is in the menus, because you don't get those emotes in the menus. But if I just go to my camera and make my field of view a bit lower, so it actually zooms in a bit, it's lagging a tad, but just look. He looks so... That looks so intimidating. Like, imagine that. Imagine that coming at you from far away, seeing those like yellow eyes, those piercing yellow eyes from that far away, looking at you across the battlefield, and see that walking up against you. That's gonna scare the hell out of you. And that's what I love about these mods, is that if this was in a game, I know this mod itself can't actually be in the game for reasons I've already explained, but imagine being on Battlefront 2, playing first person or third person, but seeing Darth Vader, let's say Crate, on Galactic Assaults, you're in the trenches, underneath, you've just turned a corner, and Darth Vader with this skin is in front of you. How scary is that gonna look? And that is the immersion that I really want from these games. So this is the reason why I like the Jedi Fallen Order, because it is that immersive. But this is the reason why I love these mods, because if this was a thing in online, it would look so good because of how immersive it could be. You know, it's so good. You know, I don't know. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is, again, I'm going to cut ahead in the video until I've got the third mod up. I'm not going to go too, like, in detail in the menus. I'm probably just going to go show you, like, this has been changed, whatever. And then I'm going to go into Ansel, because I've already shown off the 8K Darth Vader mod, which is actually what it is, by the way. As a bit of an update. So we'll just go into Ansel, just want to see what it looks like. So I'll be back in a second. Alright guys, so I'm back in. We're in the menus again, and I've got the Darth Vader mod already loaded up. Now, there is two versions of this mod that I didn't actually realise. Now, this mod has been updated since we last looked at it, and there's been another one added in, but I'm not going to go over that one now. Well, I will go over it, but I won't. I'll only show you what I saw, just because it'd make this video drag on for too long. There's no point. But the mods that's been updated, and I can't remember what it looked like, and I'll watch the video after this episode, after I start recording this video, and see what it looked like back when back when we had a look, when we saw it the first time. But damn, it looks ridiculously insane. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, am I really that stupid that, like, is there a reason why EA and DICE and their developers are not like this? Like, am I missing something here? Is their software not as up to date as they want it to be, so they can't do things like this? Like, am I missing something here? Like, am I missing something that says that the DICE developers cannot produce this level of content? You know, am I missing something that says that they can't update their graphics? They can't, you know, they can like add things in, but they can't change things. Like, am I missing something crucial that is making me think that they're idiots because they don't do things like this? You know, why can't they change re-import Darth Vader into the game files, release an update, and make the models and textures like this? Because they can do it. We've seen it before. We look at, like, Count Dooku and Palpatine and General Grievous that look really good. They don't look perfect, mind you, but they look like this. They look gobsmacking enough to make you think, like, that looks really good. You know, there's not a lot of mods for, let's say, General Grievous. The only issue with General Grievous that I find is his texture is slightly darker than it should be. So again, that's not a major issue. You know, in Count Dooku, there's a couple, like, facial tweaks that should be there but aren't. But again, it's not anything major that's a major issue. But Darth Vader, if you look at the vanilla version of him, it's matte. It's a matte. It doesn't look. It looks dull and flat. And I'm not saying it doesn't look good, because it does. It looks really good. But then we look at mods like this, and you say, you know, you look at mods like this where somebody who's done this, a community member who plays the game, is not a developer but plays the game, has done this, and you look back on that and think that looks really bad. Again, but you don't intend it to be like. You know that it's not a bad model or bad texture, but in comparison, it's a bad model. You know, and this is the model based off of Return of the Jedi. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play a bit of clip over top now. And it's, the mod, there's two parts to this mod. There's one mod which is, this one, which is Return of the Jedi. But they've done another one which is based off of A New Hope. Now, it's basically the same, but it's a bit more black. Because, in A New Hope, Darth Vader's suit was very much more like, it was matte black back then. And now in Return of the Jedi it's a bit more updated, a bit more like we've seen on the screen now, but it's very much just like it's basically the same as this one that we've got now, but it's more matted. You'll know what I mean as you see it. But it just, like, how in the name of God do they manage not to do it? Like, am I missing something? You know, because I know we're gonna get into again. We're gonna play on the Death Star again. And I'm going to get Darth Vader in, like, I'm going to position the character into a lit up zone area, like I did with the Helmetless Darth Vader. And I'm going to be blown away by how good it looks, because it's just, I don't know. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get into a game of arcade, and I'll be back once I've done it. Alright guys, so we're in Ansel, and I'm not gonna lie, like, it doesn't look so good. I'm gonna move it to a different camera angle in a minute. I think the top lights are affecting the model's look in itself, because the shininess is overwhelming it a little bit. But even so, just look at it. Look at it in game. It looks so good. Like, you know, I know this is. I say about how I was thinking this just as the game was loading up. Why is it like we get and I know maybe it's to do with copywriting, but then they're part of the same game, so I don't even know why it's like that. But Darth Vader, again, spoilers if you haven't already played Fallen Order, but Darth Vader is in Fallen Order right at the end. And I'm not going to spoil what he's like, but I've been having a look at the models and the textures, and there is software out there where you can rip the models out from Jedi Fallen Order. But I look at it and I think, why can't EA and DICE just use that model, that updated texture? They don't even have to do any work. Just take it out of them and stick it into their game. You know, I shouldn't think there'd be any legal work to do around that, because it's something that they've made. It's part of the same development team. They're published by the same company. They're different developers, but they're licensed by the same company. They're both licensed by EA, so there shouldn't be any difference there. They work for the same people. You know, that's like two people who work for the same firm moaning that somebody's copied their work, even though they're going to the same place. You know, they're both going to be credited exactly the same. You know, it doesn't make sense. Why do they have to stay with the same model? Is it that difficult? You know, if a modder can do it, if a community modder, somebody who plays the game, enjoys playing the game, and has a deep understanding of creativity, like these game developers do, and that don't work for EA or DICE, can do something like this and make the game look and feel so much better, why can't they do it? Like, again, please tell me in the comments below if I am missing the point here, because I would really love to know why they can't do it. And if there is a legitimate reason why they can't do it, I'll put my hands up and I'll apologise. But I don't see why that is such an issue. You know, personally. Again, I can't do it. I don't claim to do it. But I know, but there are people that have proven themselves more than capable of doing it. And if they can do it, why can't EA and DICE do it? No, I don't understand that. And again, if somebody could please tell me, please let me know, because I don't understand it. But anyway, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to quickly just cut ahead in the video ever so slightly. I just want to get Darth Vader into a bit of a better lighting setup. So I'll be back in just a second. Alright guys, now I'm back, and that is much better. That's much better lighting. It's very much all on Darth Vader's front. But if I zoom into his helmet, now his helmet is where it's at and where the main detail is. You know, and again, his hands and his like torso and that are really good, really detailed. But just look at his helmet. Like, that looks so good. You know, I'm not going to go on any more rants about how like, I don't understand why EA and DICE don't do this, but the detail in his helmet is really quite impressive. And again, I'll watch the old video after this episode, after I finish recording, while this is rendering and whatnot, just to see what it did originally look like. And see, because again, like I said before, I couldn't do Ansel with this one last time, because Ansel wasn't a thing that my graphics card could enable. I only had a 1050 Ti. Now I've got a 2070, so it's a lot more advanced. I can use Ansel properly. But I tell you what, it looks so good. But anyway, that is what we have time for in this video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming content. If you have any other suggestions for videos that I could do, mod reviews, revisiting mods to see if they've been updated or whatnot, do let me know in the comment section down below. But otherwise, apart from that, I hope you have enjoyed, and I shall see you all later. Bye!